And the Qatar Grand Prix is go! Good reaction time for Lewis Hamilton. George Russell putting the pressure on Max Verstappen. Hamilton got the launch off the line, goes around the outside, he's hit his teammate. Lewis Hamilton turns into George Russell and the Mercedes collide.
The 2024 Formula One season will be remembered as the year George Russell made a big impact that everyone in the sport noticed.
Of greater consequence in the Grand Prix. George Russell coming in nice and early, getting another set of the hard tyres. Bottas, it's reminiscent of the nightmare he had in Monaco a few years ago. 52 seconds and race ruined.
For the first time since joining Mercedes 3 years ago, George Russell didn't just keep up with Lewis Hamilton, he completely outshined him. In the 2024 season, Russell not only scored more points than the 7-time world champion, but also consistently qualified ahead of him and delivered stronger performances on race days. This season was more than just a personal success for George Russell. It was a clear message to the world of Formula One. He proved that he is not just a talented driver, but someone capable of leading a top team like Mercedes. His strong performances throughout the year showed that he is ready to take on greater responsibilities and fight for the biggest prizes in the sport. With Hamilton leaving for Ferrari, Russell's strong performance has fans and experts seeing him as Mercedes' new leader and a future champion.
George Russell ahead, but for how much longer? Lewis Hamilton trying to go the long way round. The two silver arrows aren't separated by much. This time George Russell has gone the most offensive.
To fully appreciate how important George Russell's 2024 season was, we need to look back at how his journey with Mercedes began. When Russell joined the team in 2022, he wasn't just starting a new chapter in his career, he was stepping into a team built around one of the greatest drivers in Formula One history, Lewis Hamilton. At that time, Hamilton was the clear leader at Mercedes, a 7-time world champion with years of experience and an unmatched reputation. Russell's arrival excited many, but doubts remained. Could the young Brit truly match Hamilton and challenge a legend? He answered with a strong first season, outscoring Hamilton and impressing fans and experts. While some saw his potential, others still questioned his consistency. But in 2024, Russell erased any doubts. He didn't just outscore Hamilton again, he completely established himself as a true competitor. He won more qualifying sessions, meaning he started ahead of Hamilton on the grid more often. He also performed better in races where they went head-to-head, proving that his success wasn't just luck, but pure skill and consistency. What made this even more impressive was that Hamilton is rarely beaten by his teammates. In fact, before Russell, only one driver had ever outqualified him over a full season in his 18-year Formula One career, Nico Rosberg in 2014, the year Rosberg and Hamilton fought for the championship. By achieving this, Russell showed that he wasn't just a promising young driver anymore, he was now a real threat to the sport's biggest names. The 2024 season had its ups and downs for Mercedes, but Russell's strong performances stood out. He won 3 races while Hamilton won 2, proving his ability to deliver under pressure. Russell's biggest strength was maximizing the car's potential even on tough weekends. A standout moment came at the British Grand Prix, where he held off a fast-charging Hamilton to take a thrilling home victory. Russell's confidence grew with each race, and his performances spoke volumes. As he told the BBC, "The results speak for themselves. I don't have anything I need to prove or show. I am proud of the results I've achieved going up against somebody like Lewis." This statement wasn't just about 2024, it was a reflection of his journey over the past 3 years.
The damp conditions, but Hamilton becomes race leader once again here at Silverstone. We've got a long way to go in this race, and conditions will continue to change.
Russell's dominance over Hamilton in 2024 sparks a key question. What's next for him? Though they tied with 689 points over 3 seasons, Russell outperformed Hamilton in 2 of them, winning more races 3-2 and leading in both qualifying and race battles. A closer look at their season-wise points tally highlights how their rivalry evolved over time. While Hamilton outscored Russell in 2023, Russell had the upper hand in 2022 and 2024, ultimately proving to be the stronger performer in their time together. With Hamilton's departure to Ferrari in 2025, Mercedes' future now rests heavily on Russell's shoulders. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has been vocal about Russell's potential. Wolff said, George has it all that you need to be a world champion. He also said that he has developed and matured, and that is clearly something that Kimi Antonelli is going to benefit from. With Hamilton's departure, Russell is now the de facto team leader, a role he seems ready to embrace. Hamilton's looming move to Ferrari may have impacted his 2024 focus. While Russell's success is clear, some believe Hamilton was already looking ahead, making direct comparisons more complex. The Formula One community has been buzzing about Russell's performance. Fans and analysts alike have taken to social media to share their thoughts. One fan commented, "George should remember that Lewis is past his best, and he still struggled to stay ahead of him. George got to beat Kimi first before he thought about being world champion. The results speak for themselves," he says, as he's speaking about them LOL. Another fan expressed his views. "One day the truth will come out. How does Hamilton go from placing third in the Drivers' Championship in 2023 to not being able to drive ground effect cars in 2024 after he gave Mercedes 12 months notice of his leaving for Ferrari? Make it make sense." Fans have been vocal about Russell's performance against Hamilton, with many acknowledging his talent and the impact of Mercedes' decision to bring him in. One fan perfectly summed it up. "We hope so too. Russell beat a 7 times WDC in the prime of his career and who didn't take a couple of years off or had a neck injury. Russell is class, and Toto made the right decision getting him in. Shame it was not before 2021. The big question now is whether Russell can turn his success into a world championship. With Hamilton leaving, Russell is now Mercedes' main driver. His new teammate, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, is a talented rookie, and their teamwork will play a big role in how strong Mercedes will be. Russell himself is confident. "I know my time will come," he said, "and I've just got to ensure that I keep on performing. Whether it's this year or next year, it'll come. If Mercedes can provide him with a car capable of challenging Red Bull and Ferrari, Russell has the talent and determination to fight for the title." Russell's 2024 season was more than just good results. It was a message. Beating Hamilton showed he's not just a young talent, but one of the best drivers. Now, with a bigger role at Mercedes, he has the chance to chase his biggest dream, a world championship.
I don't remember. I've obviously, I don't remember anything apart from Bono saying, hammer time.
Oh, yeah,
That's all I remember.
The next one.
I literally have 7 days to find the word to have Riccardo say
Martello, tempo del martello.
Tempo Martello.
Dobbiamo trovare...
Lewis Hamilton has finally made his move to Ferrari for the 2025 season. The 7-time world champion has left behind not just Mercedes, but also his iconic partnership with race engineer Pete Bono Bonington. This shift marks the end of an era and brings a question to everyone's mind. What happens to the famous hammer time call that defined Hamilton's aggressive driving moments for over a decade? Hamilton's transition to Ferrari has been nothing short of extraordinary. The British driver has thrown himself completely into the Ferrari culture, showing levels of dedication that have impressed even the most seasoned team members. His integration process offers fascinating insights into how a champion adapts to a new environment. Let's explore how Hamilton is adapting to life in red, what might replace his iconic hammer time phrase, and what this partnership could mean for Formula One in 2025. The phrase hammer time became synonymous with Lewis Hamilton's most aggressive driving moments at Mercedes. But how did it start? Hamilton explained to Autosport in 2022, there was a point where he was like, now is the time to push. And I got frustrated with him because I was like, dude, I'm already pushing, but I was like, if you're trying to signify now's the time to go all out, use everything you have, I said, just tell me it's hammer time. That was part of our growth. This simple phrase became a critical part of Hamilton's communication strategy with Bonington. When fans heard it's hammer time over the team radio, they knew Hamilton was about to push his car to the absolute limit. The phrase transcended its functional purpose and became part of Formula One folklore. For 12 years, this catchphrase was more than just a signal. It represented the perfect synergy between driver and engineer. Their relationship evolved into one of the most successful partnerships in F1 history, collecting multiple championships together. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in 2024 marked Hamilton's final race with Mercedes. It was also the last time fans would hear Bonington's iconic hammer time call directed at Hamilton. I noticed that today, Hamilton told media, including PlanetF1.com, after the Yas Marina race. When he told me, I was like, I can't even remember the last time he told me hammer time. The moment was bittersweet for Hamilton, who reflected on his journey with Bonington. What a roller coaster ride I've had with Bono. He's been one of my closest friends for many years. It's something I didn't expect to have because he worked with Michael Schumacher. He's worked with great drivers, and for the longest time, he's stood by me. For an engineer to stick by someone, as frustrating and painful as it can sometimes be, he stood by me every single day, without fail. Meanwhile, Bonington isn't leaving Mercedes. He's already working with teenage prodigy Kimi Antonelli, while Hamilton adjusts to life with his new race engineer, Riccardo Adami. Previously, Adami worked with Sebastian Vettel and Carlos Sainz at Ferrari, bringing valuable experience to this new partnership. The question on everyone's mind, will Hamilton keep his iconic phrase at Ferrari? When asked by Sky Sports during preseason testing, Hamilton admitted, I haven't spoken to my engineer about that. I don't know how it would sound with an Italian accent, so I'll have to find an Italian word probably. We'll probably find something new. During a Ferrari event in Milan, the topic of Hamilton's signature phrase came up again. In a candid moment captured on video, Hamilton reflected, I don't remember anything apart from Bono saying. His new teammate, Charles Leclerc, playfully prompted him, come on, go on. Hamilton then continued, hammer time. I literally have 7 days to find the word to have Riccardo say. This is where Leclerc, who speaks fluent Italian, offered a potential solution. He suggested tempo di martello as the Italian equivalent of hammer time. The three-word Italian phrase seemed like a logical replacement. However, Hamilton later ruled out this suggestion, stating that tempo di martello just wouldn't sound right with the dynamic he's trying to build with his new engineer. This decision highlights Hamilton's attention to detail. He recognizes that the relationship with his race engineer needs authentic communication that feels natural to both parties. Simply translating his old phrase wouldn't capture the unique chemistry he's building with Adami. Hamilton's approach to joining Ferrari has been remarkable in its thoroughness. He's not just changing teams, he's fully immersing himself in Ferrari culture. During preseason, Hamilton took extraordinary steps to integrate with his new team. He parked his motorhome outside the farmhouse that once served as Enzo Ferrari's office in Maranello. This wasn't just a symbolic gesture, it was practical, allowing him to eliminate travel time and maximize his interactions with the team. Hamilton's dedication went further. He walked through the entire Maranello facility, personally meeting all 1,500 staff members. He even invited engineers to his temporary home for dinner, building personal connections beyond the workplace. Hamilton explained, I want people to know that I'm willing to go above and beyond to be able to blend in and to contribute to my fullest potential. His commitment sends a clear message. This isn't just another job for him, it's a mission. The British driver is also tackling the language barrier head-on. Hamilton delivered a short speech to his new team members in Maranello, and he's actively learning Italian technical terminology to improve communication with his garage. Hamilton explained, I'm in the learning phase of understanding the rear suspension, the front suspension, all the different settings they have for those, and the terminology they use for them. My engineer and I are also learning how we like to work in terms of communication. After every session, every time I go out, basically we're making adjustments to the information I give him and vice versa. Hamilton's study regimen is intense. I've got it all on my computer and I'm studying it each day and night to make sure I understand when they're talking about the different components. Rather than seeing these challenges as obstacles, Hamilton embraces them. It's a part of the learning process, and that's what makes it exciting. Because it's all new, I'm loving that newness. For Hamilton, joining Ferrari fulfills a childhood dream. As a young boy, he played video games as Michael Schumacher, imagining himself in the iconic red car. Now that dream has become reality. The emotional impact of this transition is evident in Hamilton's descriptions. He recalls catching his first glimpse of himself in the Ferrari race suit in a bathroom mirror and stopping to take in its significance. The night before his first test run in a Ferrari at Fiorano, he barely slept from excitement. Hamilton sees something special in the Ferrari organization. He said, everyone here dreams of winning with Ferrari, every single person. The energy that I'm receiving from the team, there's magic here. His assessment of Ferrari's potential is clear and confident. They've got absolutely every ingredient they need to win a world championship. It's just about putting all the pieces together. This optimism isn't unfounded. Ferrari finished second to McLaren by just 14 points last year and ended the season with an improving car. The SF25 is an evolution of that design and should suit Hamilton better than the Mercedes he struggled with in recent seasons. The SF25 is an evolution of last year's car with improvements that should better match Hamilton's driving style. The Ferrari's level of oversteer particularly suits Hamilton, who excels at controlling the rotation of the car as it transitions from slow to high speed.
I've obviously, I don't remember anything in it apart from Bono saying.
It's hammer time.
Come on, go on.
Hammer time. That's all I remember.
The next one.
I literally have 7 days to find the word to have Riccardo say.
Martello, tempo del martello.
Tempo martello.
Dobbiamo trovare.
For over a decade, F1 fans around the world became familiar with a very special radio call between Lewis Hamilton and his Mercedes race engineer, Peter Bono Bonington. The iconic hammer time message became synonymous with Hamilton's dominance on track. But what exactly was hammer time all about? The phrase wasn't just random, it had deep meaning for Hamilton and his engineer. As Hamilton himself explained, hammer time is, say, my pit stop is lap 20 or lap 25. In that moment, usually they say, time to push. Hamilton revealed that he actually created the phrase himself out of frustration with longer radio messages. Bono would come out with these long sentences. Hi, Lewis, just to let you know that it's time to start pushing, and it's a really long bit of speech. I said, Bono, just tell me it's hammer time, and it means push like a mofo and get going. This simple phrase became a powerful signal between the pair, with Bono using it every time the team wanted Hamilton to extract maximum performance from his car, just before a pit stop. The phrase, a clever reference to MC Hammer's 1990 hit You Can't Touch This, combined with Hamilton's three-letter designation, Ham in F1, became a staple of their communication. The emotional significance of this partnership became clear after Hamilton's final race with Mercedes at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where he realized it was the last time he would hear the iconic call. Hamilton told this media after the Yas Marina race, I noticed that today. When he told me, I was like, I can't even remember the last time he told me hammer time. What a roller coaster ride I've had with Bono. He's been one of my closest friends for many years. Hamilton reflected on their long partnership with genuine emotion. It's something I didn't expect to have because he worked with Michael Schumacher. He's worked with great drivers, and for the longest time, he stood by me. For an engineer to stick by someone as frustrating and painful as it can sometimes be, he stood by me every single day without fail. This end of an era marks the beginning of Hamilton's bold new chapter. But what will replace the iconic hammer time at Ferrari? With Hamilton now donning the famous red of Ferrari, the question on everyone's lips is, what will replace the iconic hammer time radio call? During a Ferrari event, Hamilton addressed this very question. I don't remember anything apart from Bono saying, before his new teammate Charles Leclerc humorously interrupted, "Come on, go on." Hamilton continued, "Hammer time. I literally have 7 days to find the word to have Riccardo say." That's when Leclerc, fluent in Italian, suggested a three-word replacement, tempo di martello, the Italian equivalent of hammer time.
I remember, I've obviously, I don't remember anything in it apart from Bono saying,
Come on, go on.
hammer time. That's all I remember.
The next one.
I literally have 7 days to find the word to have Riccardo say.
Martello, tempo del martello.
Tempo martello.
Dobbiamo trovare.
But will Hamilton adopt this Italian phrase? The seven-time world champion seems unsure. When asked about it during preseason testing in Bahrain, Hamilton admitted, I haven't spoken to my engineer about that. I don't know how it would sound with an Italian accent, so I'll have to find an Italian word probably. We'll probably find something new. In more recent comments, Hamilton has actually ruled out using tempo di martello, suggesting it just wouldn't sound right. It seems the search for a new iconic radio call continues. The radio call isn't the only communication challenge Hamilton faces at Ferrari. He's now working with race engineer Riccardo Adami, who previously worked with Carlos Sainz, and communication is key to their success. Hamilton has revealed he's deep in the learning process of mastering Ferrari's technical language. He said, "I'm in the learning phase of understanding the rear suspension, the front suspension, all the different settings they have for those, and the terminology they use for them. My engineer and I are also learning how we like to work in terms of communication." The champion driver is taking his preparation seriously. "I've got it all on my computer, and I'm studying it each day and night to make sure I understand when they're talking about the different components." Despite the challenge, Hamilton is embracing the change. It's a part of the learning process, and that's what makes it exciting because it's all new. I'm loving that newness. This newness extends beyond just language. Hamilton is entering a completely different team dynamic with a teammate who's already established at Ferrari. And what he's said about this partnership has sent a clear message to Max Verstappen and the rest of the grid. Lewis Hamilton has made an extraordinary claim about his partnership with Charles Leclerc at Ferrari. Speaking in a video shared by Scuderia Ferrari, Hamilton declared, "We're the strongest pairing F1 has probably ever had." Let that sink in. The strongest pairing in F1 history. This isn't just a casual comment. It's a direct challenge to reigning champion Max Verstappen and his Red Bull team. Hamilton isn't just suggesting they'll be competitive, he's claiming they'll be historically dominant.